wherever you go.
Like and follow News 1226 on Facebook for the latest up-to-date coverage near you.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, first at 5.
Just 1 hour before his death, the ex-girlfriend of a local man shot and killed on I-20 says he told her he could feel something was off.
He knew something was about to happen to him.
He told her just before his death. But first, a big development in a murder that had been unsolved for more than 2 months. Just hours ago, the Burke County Sheriff's Office announced deputies arrested these two men, Tommy Tennyson and Darius Savage. They are charged in the shooting death of Brian Carswell. Carswell was the brother of Waynesboro Mayor Gregory Carswell. Deputies had been searching for Tennyson for over a week, but this is the first that we are learning of Savage. The two men are charged with murder, armed robbery, kidnapping, and possession of a firearm. Some huge news for South Carolina's vaccine rollout. Governor Henry McMaster just announced a few hours ago anyone 16 and older can start scheduling appointments for the COVID vaccine starting Wednesday. Now, this comes just days after Georgia expanded its eligibility, both coming way ahead of schedule. DHEC says the state is administering more than 23,000 doses every day. More than 1.1 million people in the state have gotten at least one dose. A major shakeup for our local justice system. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed a measure into law yesterday. It allows Columbia County to split from the Richmond County Judicial Center. The move will give Columbia County its own circuit and its own district attorney. Celeste Springer is live outside of Superior Court in Evans this afternoon. And Celeste, what is next for the county?
Well, it all goes into effect July 1st. Court hearings will continue to be held here at the Columbia County Courthouse, and Governor Kemp will make the final decision on who is the next reigning DA for the county. That being said, voters will be able to make their own choice for DA come 2022. They'll cast a vote for that district attorney moving forward. For now, Judges Padgett, Jolly, and Blanchard, who all live in Columbia County, will be the three judges sitting in on the circuit here. But the moving process brings into question if our already backlogged court system could see further delays. When COVID hit, we reported 3,500 criminal cases and 21,000 civil cases were put on hold. Those numbers only multiplied during the pandemic. We checked back in with one of the victims of the Georgia Lina Pool Company. More than 2 years ago, the I-Team exposed a pattern of problems with owners Bruce and Heather Alford. But it wasn't until this year that they were indicted on 27 counts. One alleged victim says she supports the splitting of the circuit, but has concerns if it could delay her day in court even longer after she's already been waiting for years.
Trials have to be set and things have to move forward, but how long? What is the time frame as far as how long is this going to take? Are we going to be sitting here another 3 years, which will then be 6 years?
And coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from Judge Carl Brown. He was an advocate for the circuit staying together with the three counties. We'll hear what he has to say, along with a representative who backed the bill about where we go from here.
All right, thanks for that update, Celeste. Probably the most notable bill Governor Brian Kemp signed yesterday was the Georgia Elections Bill. The Republican-backed legislation introduces new restrictions on voting by mail. And it also gives state lawmakers more control over how elections are run. Democrats call it voter suppression, some going as far as comparing it to Jim Crow laws. One Democratic representative even got arrested yesterday while trying to protest.
Are you serious? No, you are not. She's not under arrest. For what? Under arrest for what?
Representative Park Cannon is seen on video right there. You can see taken by a cell phone, knocking on Governor Kemp's door as he signed the bill on the other side. You can hear the officer warn Cannon, who continues to knock and then, of course, is arrested. Cannon has since been released, but colleagues say it was a terrifying moment for everyone who was there to witness it.
She's traumatized. It was a very traumatic experience. We're doing everything we can to protect her in this moment, and at the same time trying to protect the voting rights for the citizens of Georgia.
Now, looking back at the bill, a big part is raising alarms for potential for more partisan influence now that lawmakers do have more control over election administration. Instead of getting elected, the Secretary of State is now appointed by the legislature. It also lets the board remove and replace county election officials who are underperforming. It's not just Georgia here. The Brennan Center for Justice found in February 33 states had already introduced restrictive voting bills this year. That's compared to 15 states last year. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll hear from people on both sides of this right here at home. From Alabama to Georgia, tornadoes and severe storms ripped through parts of the South, killing at least 5 people. Trees are snapped, homes wrecked, power lines down. The images coming out of this are just so incredibly sad. This drone video is from Noonan, Georgia. This is right outside of Atlanta. Look at that. You can see devastation all around. At least 1 person died from this county. 4 other people died in Alabama. 3 of them were from the same family, a mother, father, and a daughter from Ohatchee.
Well, I thought that they said they couldn't find them. I was just hoping that they had found shelter or something. And then I found out that they had passed. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm in shock. I'm numb. I never felt this kind of stuff before.
Just devastating. That storm system is now traveling north, where in Ohio, more than 150,000 people were without power today. Here at home, taking a look over downtown Augusta, it was a pretty wet start to the weekend, Riley. And we heard some pretty loud claps of thunder, lightning too. Is the rain going to be sticking around?
We are still tracking some active showers and even an isolated thunderstorm through this evening. Most of the rain is currently along or south of I-20. Here in Augusta, we have South Augusta seeing some light to moderate rainfall, but towards Martinez and Evans, very little rain falling currently, just fairly cloudy and a little bit breezy out there. So most of the rain and showers, at least through this evening, if it were to be a stronger storm to be found, it would most likely be found in the southern CSRA, south of that I-20 boundary. Nothing currently severe, no active warnings or watches across the viewing area. We did have a fairly loud start to the morning with that line of storms that did move through, but luckily we haven't seen much of the way of severe weather. This is the marginal risk that does continue through this evening. I would say it's just a few hours after sunset. We should lose all the ingredients we would need to see a stronger storm pass them. So taking you through it hour by hour, we'll have that chance for more showers and storms up into late tonight, even past midnight tonight. Can't rule out some rumbles of thunder. Now, most of your Saturday is looking dry. We're keeping an eye on the potential for more strong storms by Sunday. Much more coming up in that full forecast.
Thanks for that, Riley. The ex-girlfriend of the Edgefield man found shot to death on I-20 this week says he knew something was going to happen. Regina Miles said she spoke to Torian Ori about an hour before he died. Take a listen.
He just basically said the people he was with was acting weird and funny, that he felt bad, he felt weird, he knew something. He said, I just want you to know where I'm at in case something happens to me.
Chilling. She was out of town and thought he might have just been paranoid. But then Ori's body was found on the side of I-20. He had been shot multiple times. Officials say he was in a car with 2 17-year-olds when a gunfight broke out. Ori either jumped out of the car or was pushed, and the 2 juveniles went to the hospital because one of them was shot. That's actually how police found them. Investigators haven't released the names of the suspects yet because of their age. Tributes keep rolling in for the 10 victims killed in this week's mass shooting in Boulder, Colorado.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
A vigil was held last night to honor the victims of the King Soopers grocery store shooting. 3 employees, 2 contractors, 4 shoppers, and 1 Boulder police officer were killed. 10 people in all. Now, an entire block of fencing outside the store is covered with flowers, pictures, notes, and candles. Even authorities are left wondering why this happened.
The rest of the community, we too want to know why. Why that King Soopers? Why Boulder? Why Monday? And unfortunately, at this time, we still don't have those answers.
Funerals for the victims will begin this weekend. Eric Talley, the Boulder police officer killed in the line of duty, he will be laid to rest on Tuesday. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are in Texas today visiting the southern border. Republican senators arrived last night and toured along the Rio Grande River. The senators, including South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, were escorted by Border Patrol and the Texas Department of Public Safety. Today, Democratic representatives arrived at an Office of Refugee Settlement facility for unaccompanied children. As it stands right now, nearly twice as many unaccompanied kids are showing up at the border every day compared to 2019. Officials expect the surge only to rise in the coming months. There is a new name. Davis is limited by term limits, so he cannot run again. We hear about the hundreds of thousands of cases and deaths because of COVID, but oftentimes we can overlook the incredible stories of success. One local man and his family are celebrating his return home after he spent 108 days in the hospital fighting COVID. Doctors did not think 67-year-old Gonzalo Castro was going to make it out of the hospital alive, but not only did he make it, he is also now well enough to drive himself to get his second COVID shot. His daughter says the whole experience makes you treasure the little things.
It definitely puts things in perspective when you feel like your time is going to be cut short.
Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, hear more about this incredible story. It should give lots of people hope. If you're willing to brave the chance of rain tonight, there are a few events happening. I want to let you know that over at Evanstown Center, Columbia County is hosting Brews, Blues, and Barbecue. The name pretty much tells you everything you need to know. Admission is free. It starts at 6 o'clock, and we'll take you there live coming up in the next hour. Rec Tech is also hosting another outdoor movie night. They're showing Brave at their location in Evans. It is $10 for a parking spot. Gates open at 6. The movie starts at 7:30. These mysterious lights have a lot of people guessing. Well, we'll get the guesses and then hear what the experts have to say coming up in 60 seconds. Riley?
And we are tracking more showers and thunderstorms through this evening. We'll take a look at who has the highest chance and then another potential round of severe storms by Sunday. Lots to talk about in that full forecast.
My whole body went through the wall.
Female veterans suffering visible and invisible wounds from their service, and the I-Team finds care for women who serve has lacked for decades. Monday on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
This is what people in the Pacific Northwest saw when they looked up in the sky last night. Yeah, weird. From Seattle to Salem, Oregon, people reported seeing a string of lights like these up above. Several people said it appeared to be a dozen or more objects moving across the sky in unison. No one has officially confirmed if it was a meteor shower, a satellite, maybe a UFO, but the National Weather Service says it was likely debris from a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket that did not have a successful deorbit burn. Yeah, though definitely raising a few eyebrows there. A lot of people for sure wondering, what is that? Are we under attack? Is that a UFO? Oh, all right. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale, what are your thoughts on the lights?
Last I heard, it was just that Falcon 9 or something from SpaceX that just had a bad trip back towards Earth, but that's last I've heard. But who knows? I think aliens are real. They're probably real, so who knows? It could have been aliens. As we take a look over Aiken County, WeatherStim camera networks actually showing a few breaks in the clouds. This is looking towards the north and west. This is from Aiken County, where rain chances are looking highest for areas along and south of I-20, at least for the next several hours. We're currently at 68 degrees in Aiken County. We've been a little bit warmer, but now that rain's starting to fall, it's helping us cool off a little bit. No active warnings or watches currently, and our severe weather threat is very low for the rest of today, but just technically not zero. We're still tracking some heavy rain over Fort Gordon. They've been seeing some heavy rain and thunderstorm activity, at least for the last hour now, so you may be seeing close to an inch of rainfall so far this afternoon. Here's a look at it, wide view. Most of this rain is south of that I-20 boundary right here, and that's where, if there were a strong storm to be found the next several hours, it'd most likely be in the central and southern CSRA. Now, the front that brought all that rough rough weather across portions of Mississippi and even West Georgia late last night. That front is now stalled over us, so this is what's going to keep our rain chances in play even into the weekend. Now, through this evening, the marginal risk still extends across most of the viewing area, but once again, that means our threat for severe weather is very low. Most people will not see severe weather, but just cannot rule out maybe one storm producing some gusty winds. So through this evening, we'll keep that chance for a few hit and miss showers. Once again, that threat looks highest for areas in the central and southern CSRA. Late tonight into early Saturday, we'll start to see that front now lifting north. Wherever that front ends up is where there's going to be a boundary for some showers and even a potential thunderstorm to form by Saturday afternoon. But overall, the rain chances are looking low for most of us. I wouldn't necessarily cancel your outdoor plans on Saturday. This one particular model is going very dry Saturday afternoon. Not sure if I'm ready to buy into that completely. I'm still thinking we'll have the chance for a few pop-up showers, maybe a thunderstorm, but overall it doesn't look like an all-day washout Saturday. Now on Sunday, we're going to have another cold front move in, and this potentially could bring us a few stronger storms. Our model here is not really getting on board completely with that severe threat holding together, but if it were to happen, it would be Sunday afternoon, and that would be the threat for some gusty winds, some hail, and potentially can't even rule out an isolated tornado warning. Now, the one thing that would be our saving grace Sunday for that potential of some severe weather would be that they're coming from the northwest. So we usually see downsloping winds off the Appalachians, which usually kind of eats away at the storm potential. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, but just want to give you a first alert that there potentially could be some stronger storms out there heading into our Sunday. Now, here's a look at I-20. This is near the Augusta Canal. You can see that traffic's getting pretty slow on this westbound side. I think there actually is an accident on the I-20 overpass over Washington Road, so that may be some people just being hindered by that. So just a heads up if you plan on driving around the next hour or so. Now, as we head into early next week, we're going to see that front bring us the potential for storms Sunday. By Monday, we're going to see cooler temperatures, at least high temperatures closer to average, not quite as warm as what we've seen. Rain chances going back up, though, by the middle of next week. Rain looks likely Tuesday through Thursday of next week.
Just into the newsroom, we are seeing a crash on I-20 at the overpass of Washington Road. The crash that Riley was just mentioning, possibly backing up traffic in that last shot you saw. Well, we're working to get more information now, but we do know there is a big backup of traffic in that area right by that overpass on Washington Road. Washington Road already pretty busy at this time anyway, so you can imagine what a crash is doing. We also know there is an injury and that at least 2 cars are involved. That call came in just before 4:30. Of course, we are working to learn more, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we do. Some local kids are giving back in 10,000 ways. Students at Westminster helped pack up 10,000 meals today for families in need. They partnered up with the Golden Harvest Food Bank for a one-day mass packing party. Organizers say this not only helps Golden Harvest, but also the students.
So one of our core values that we teach our students here at Westminster is to be a positive influence on our community and the world through taking action in our faith. So this fulfills all of those.
Half of those meals will stay here for families in our area. The other half will go to families in Haiti. We're back in a bit. Okay, this next story, it's a good one. A random act of kindness 6 years ago has led to a man donating a kidney to a neighbor. Stacey Cohen has their story.
It all started at this ordinary bus stop 6 years ago when Doug Shumway did an extraordinary thing.
I happened to notice somebody standing at the bus stop. It was a winter day, and I realized that, I can give this person a ride.
That person was Dan Reynolds.
Because it was like 10 inches of snow on the ground and 15 degrees outside, I said, yeah, okay, sure.
The men chatted. Shumway learned Reynolds did contracting work and hired him to fix some plumbing, a job that took a couple of days.
He said he was leaving, and I said, oh, well, where are you going to live? So I don't know, I'm kind of homeless. I said, well, why don't you stay with us?
What made you do that?
That's just the way we're supposed to be as people. I mean, if you have, you give.
They get so many birds here, it's crazy.
After a divorce and steep debt, Reynolds spent 2 years living in a van. He was overwhelmed by Shumway's kindness.
I'm going to keep on going, and sooner or later, maybe I would get a break. And it did happen.
He's lived here ever since.
The teacup magnolia's got buds on it.
Reynolds quickly became a fixture in the neighborhood. He began working for other families too, including Tony Antonelli's.
I called Dan, the handyman.
One day, Reynolds was cutting the grass at the Antonelli's and discovered there was one more thing he had to fix.
I asked him, I said, man, you don't look very good, man. Are you okay? Are you feeling all right?
I said, well, my kidney's failing. And so my options were dialysis, which I was on, or a kidney transplant.
I said, well, if it's feasible, I'd be honored to give you one of mine.
It was a complete shock, out of the blue, and quite frankly, you can't make that up.
Miraculously, they were a perfect match. On February 23rd, Antonelli and Reynolds gave each other a quick thumbs up as doctors wheeled them into the operating room for a kidney transplant.
It's good to see you.
There's a reason Dan is in my life.
And all this time that we have.
And that's to actually save my life. And I can't thank him enough.
The power of kindness. Wow. Good stuff there. We're back in a bit.
Injured? To keep informed with the latest happening near you.
Well, here's a current look at I-20 near the Augusta Canal. You can see traffic on this westbound side is still pretty backed up. This is from over the overpass over Washington Road where there was a wreck, and they actually did have to stop traffic. So if you have plans to maybe be out and about the metro the next 30, 45 minutes, you may have to run into that. Still some rain to be found in South Augusta and southern Richmond County. Definitely watch out for some storms through this evening, and we'll watch out for more storms by Sunday.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. Richard Rogers is in the studio. Coming up in a few minutes, he joins us here. So is Nick Proto. Don't go anywhere.
News 12, 26 in this